Hi, welcome to Sand Mountain Community Watch. We're so glad you joined us today. Yes, once again, I have one of my favorite co-hosts is Mr. Jimmy Oney, my husband. I'm glad you're here helping.
This is beginning to be a habit.
I know, but you do a really good job.
I do.
But we still miss Tootsie, don't we?
Yes, I do. I miss her more than you do.
I know, because you hate this.
Yes.
But anyway, Tootsie had something going on today, so we miss her. But she left me her announcements, and I've got announcements, and we got a great show lined up. We have with us today, we have Mr. Byron Woodfin, and he is an author, and he wrote the book Lay Down with Dogs. And I had never heard of this. We're going to find out a little bit more, well, I hope a lot more about this in just a little bit. We also have with us, it's that time of year, it's political, and we have, I guess, our last candidate before the election. We have with us Mr. John Lida. He'll come on and tell us why we should vote for him for Jackson County School Board member at large. Is that right? Am I saying that right?
He knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. I'm sure. Just vote. You can just vote for him, and you'll figure it out. But anyway, we're going to make some announcements. We'll start off with our blood drives. Miss Felicia Christopher always sends us the blood drives from the Blood Assurance. And they have one on the 26th, which is Friday. They actually have two Friday. One is here in Trenton at the Southeast Lineman Training. It is from 8:45 to 3:30 Eastern Time. And then at the Walmart Scottsboro from 11:30 to 5 Central Time. And then on the 29th, that just sounds funny, don't it? The 29th of February, leap year. It only happens once every 4 years.
That's right.
So on the 29th, did you take a day off or something one leap year from work?
Take a vacation down 29th, yeah.
Why?
Because how often do you get to do that? I mean,
Well,
once every 4 years.
Don't plan on it this year.
I've done put in for it. Don't tell my boss that.
I won't. Lowe's at Fort Payne is also having a blood drive on the 29th from 1 to 3:30 Central Time. And then the DeKalb Sheriff's Office from 9:30 to 11 Central Time. So y'all be sure and go out and stick your arm up and let them draw some blood, because it saves lives. So, that's a good thing. And if you have a chance, don't forget these locations coming up. Also, I wanted to take a minute. I had wrote a note about the Rosalie had their political rally last week, and I didn't get to go, but I think they had a really good turnout. But I wanted to wish Miss, and I've lost my note probably. I wanted to wish Miss Wanda Moore Wilson happy birthday today. I don't know how old she is, but happy birthday to her. Also, I wanted to talk about our fire department. The Tri-Community Fire Department, which is Bryant, Flat Rock, and Higdon, will be having a mock rec at North Sand Mountain School on Monday, March 28th. Now, this is nothing that's really open to the public. It's basically for the school kids. But let's keep in mind that our fire department is doing this, and encourage them, help them out. They get no help, very little help financially, but a lot of just support. I'm sure they would like to just know that y'all appreciate them, more so than anything. I've got some North Sand Mountain announcements. February 29th through March the 4th is Read Across America Week. They will be doing the door decoration. The girls from North Sand Mountain came on last week with their Dr. Seuss things. It's Read Across America Week. They will be giving awards for the best decorated door. The celebration will be Friday, March the 4th at 1 p.m. in the elementary gym, and they have guest readers scheduled for next week. And it also says remind students to bring in box tops. They have dress-up days for students in grades K through 4. Monday is I am not going to get up today, which is pajama day. Tuesday is green eggs and ham, so you wear green. Wednesday is Wacky Wednesday, and you wear wacky or tacky clothes. Well, that could be any day almost for me.
Normal day for us.
I know, and I'm not getting up today. I say that every day. Thursday is the 500 hats of Bartholomew Cubans, so it's hat day. Never heard of that one, have you?
I've never heard that one.
And then Friday is you just dress up like your favorite Dr. Seuss character. And I think we asked the girls, one of them was going to be Cindy Lou Who. because that was one of my favorites. But also, they're having a Cinderella closet sale. It's a sale for prom dresses, banquet dresses, and it's March the 5th, and it's going to be there at the school. And if you need more information, you can contact Miss Amy Cook. And on March the 5th, also, from 5 to 7, they are having a father-daughter dance for pre-K up through 6th grade. Tickets on sale now for $20 a couple and $5 for any additional child. So that would be. Did you ever do that with your girls?
Mm-mm.
Do a father-daughter dance? No. Well, they didn't have them, I don't think, when my dad was around. But I think that would be so cool. I think that would be awesome. Okay, Bryant School now. We have they're having their meet and greet, the candidates, Thursday night, the 25th, from 6 to 7:30 Eastern Time in the school gym. Chili and refreshments will be sold. The Bryant PTO is selling Coca-Cola products. The case of 24 bottles, and their 20-ounce bottles is $20. So that's a good deal. If you don't know someone with the PTO, call the tax clinic. We have some people there that can sell you a case of Cokes. Also, don't forget, if you get your GED, Bryant and Bridgeport have classes every Monday and Thursday. And Morris Fabric in Rosalie is offering sewing classes every second and fourth Saturday. You can bring your own sewing machine, but if you do, you need to call and let them know. So I guess they have sewing machines if you don't have one that you can practice on. Or I guess that they can teach you. I would love to do that. I hope it lasts past April so I can go down there, because I can sew, but it's not pretty. The Otter Special Service Center will be having an open house for their new sensory room on Monday, February 29th from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Everyone is invited, and please come out and support Otter School. Mountain View Christian Academy is having their alumni games Saturday the 27th. This month is about over, isn't it?
Just about.
Now, a week from today is March 1st.
No.
Their alumni game starts at 12 Eastern Time. And then we have Tootsie's little Medicine on Wheels. Is that what it's called?
Medicine
on the Move. Okay, the bus from Highlands that does all the checks, the blood pressure, heart rate, cholesterol, oxygen levels, all that they do, and it don't cost a dime. You just have to show up and get on the bus. And tomorrow, Wednesday the 24th, they will be at the Stevenson Senior Center from 9 to 11, and then at North Jackson Pharmacy from noon to 2. Then on the 25th at the Scottsboro Senior Center from 9 to 11, and then at the Flat Rock Community Center on the 25th from 1 to 3. All those times are Central Time. So if you get a chance, go out and get all that. It saves a lot of money. It's free, so that in itself saves a lot of money. Also, I wanted to announce, and I think I saved it on my phone, so I'm going to have to dig in here and look. I didn't know. North Sun Mountain has a 6th grade student that has been invited to attend the presidential inauguration. Now, how do you get invited to attend that, I wonder?
Well, does it not
don't
say on there?
No, but
No.
it's in January of 2017, of course. If you are interested in contributing financial support to make this trip a reality, please private message Miss Sonia Ott. There's a place on Facebook about it, or, you can contact North Sun Mountain School and they'll give you some more information about that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know how do you have to, fill out an application, I wonder? We'll have to get Miss Ott to come on and tell us a little bit more about that, because that would be interesting.
And the student.
Yeah, especially after the inauguration, to see.
Oh, yeah. See how they enjoyed it. Yeah.
Speaking of that is election is a week from today, and they have dropped out like flies in the Republican. There's several on the ballot, and if you don't have a sample ballot, we'll be glad to print off one and give to you there at the tax clinic. I always like to have one in front of me so I can kind of know what's on there. There's a amendment, and if you don't read it carefully, when you read it, it kind of sounds. You just need to make your own decision on that. But I used to depend on my dad to tell me. I'd go up and I'd say, tell me how to vote for these amendments, because I didn't want to read them, didn't care, and I thought, well, he knew what was going on, so I'd let him do it.
You knew he was going to be right anyway.
He was always right, if you ask me. But anyway, if you don't know what the amendment is, do a little research. I have actually printed the amendment out, and it was a bill that was sponsored by Senator Orr, which is from District 3, which is over around Decatur and Huntsville, I believe, and I did a little more research, so I have that information. If you're interested in wanting to know a little bit more about that amendment, I'll be glad to tell you about it. What I know, I'll let you read it for yourself, because if you trust me, I might tell you wrong, and I wouldn't want to do that for nothing. On the ballot this year, we have, of course, the presidential nominees. Republican is Ben Carson, Ted Cruz. This is all that's left. There was, 15 to begin with?
Well, I think it was more than that in the beginning.
There's 5 Republicans left. Ben Carson, Ted Cruz, John... how do you say that? Kasich. Marco Rubio, and Donald Trump. And then, of course, on the Democrat side, we have Miss Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. That's the only 2 left on that side. But for our United States senators, that's up for election. We also have U.S. Representative. It says that this might not be on all ballots. So I don't know. It's Robert Aderholt and Phil Norris. So I don't know if that'll be on our ballot or not. We see his commercial, so maybe, I don't know, maybe it will be. Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, place number 3. President for the Public Service Commission. And this is one of those deals where if you don't know the person, you tend to vote for their name. Do you do that? I did. I've done that. Do you do that? Come on.
No.
You don't vote for somebody just because their name sounds good or bad?
I don't think so.
Well, if you did, this woman would have to win this. Twinkle Kavanaugh is running for Public Service Commission, for President of Public Service Commission, against Terry Dunn. Now, you're going to vote for Twinkle or Terry. I mean, really. If you don't know either one, you're going to hit Twinkle every time, I'm sure.
Twinkle make you smile more.
I know, right? And who even knows what the Public Service Commission does? I don't.
Well, I've not checked into that.
I know, right? So I don't even know why we have to vote on that. But we need to. It's what? Regulates utilities. So they are supposed to keep our light bill from going up. Yeah, maybe not. I'm getting looks here. Well, they've not been doing a real good job so far. But anyway, the main race that's going on in Jackson County, there's 2 actually is all. Superintendent for Jackson County Board of Education, Mr. Kevin Dukes, or Dr. Bart Reeves. And then for the Jackson County Board of Education at large, we have Miss Angela Guess and Mr. John Lida. And Mr. Lida is here with us today. So when we come back from our commercial, we're going to have him on, and he's going to tell me, I asked the same question to every candidate, why should I vote for you? So he'll tell me that to begin with, I'm assuming, and then we'll see why else we need to vote for him. So y'all stick around. We'll be right back.
BBS Wholesale and Salvage Grocery is now open in Higdon. We've got paper products, canned goods, health and beauty aids, cereal, and even some items available by the case. Everything is at or way below wholesale cost. Banana boxes full of snacks, including candy bars, chips, cookies, all starting at $10 for $1. Laundry detergent by the gallon. Empty banana boxes for just $1. Our inventory changes every week. BBS Wholesale and Salvage Grocery in Higdon, Alabama, across from Ponders Mountain Pharmacy. Open Wednesday through Friday 10 to 6 and Saturday 11 till 3.
Hey, Bart, Aunt Bee don't get around as good as she used to, and she's in need of a lift chair. Why, Andy, you gotta nip it in the bud. Comfort Gallery has catnapper lift chairs in stock with free delivery and setup. Catnapper reclining sofas in leather, designer fabrics, and even camouflage. Catnapper rocker recliners starting at $269. Hey, Andy, I just been over to Comfort Gallery. They also have England sofas by Lazy Boy. Queen-size pillow top mattress sets now $299. King-size sets just $399. Is that a fact? Surprise, surprise, surprise! They now have free 1-year layaway and 6 months same as cash. And listen up, Andy. For the Credit Challenge, they now offer no credit check payment plans. Located in Kimball, Tennessee in the Old Hills Building. That's Comfort Gallery Mattress and Furniture, open 7 days a week. Y'all go by there and see Gary.
Comfort Gallery, 780 Main Street in Kimball. Free delivery and setup, 90 days same as cash, and easy payment plans. Open Monday through Friday 9 to 6, Saturday 9 to 5, and Sunday 1 to 5. Telephone 423-837-3000. Come enjoy pizza for lunch or dinner in a family atmosphere at Stevie B's Pizza, 2200 Galt Avenue North in Fort Payne. Enjoy the super buffet and salad bar anytime, or have any of our specialty pizzas made to order and delivered right to your table. At Stevie B's in Fort Payne, we make our own dough, assuring you the best possible pizza. Book your parties at Stevie B's in Fort Payne, plus ask about catering and fundraisers too. Call Stevie B's 256-979-1234 and find out more. Great pizza in a family atmosphere. Stevie B's, 2200 Galt Avenue North in Fort Payne. A time-tested financial institution equipped with the latest banking technology, the Bank of Dade, with mobile banking to fit your on-the-go lifestyle. Download our latest app today for your iPhone, Android, or tablet to bank on the go. Check your balance, pay bills, make deposits, and keep track of your account anytime and anywhere with the Bank of Dade's smartphone app. Make life easier by using today's most advanced banking technology to your advantage. Call us at 657-6842 or visit on the web at bankofdade.com. Your hometown bank since 1956, the Bank of Dade. Main offices on Highway 11 North in Trenton, and drive-thrus on Highway 11 North and Highway 136 West. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If you're not currently advertising and marketing your business here on KWN TV, then you're missing out on reaching potential customers and new sales. KWN TV is proud to deliver the marketing message of dozens of great businesses in North Alabama, Southeast Tennessee, and North Georgia. We look forward to showing how affordable it is for your business to market on television. Call us today at 423-762-1475. Email at KWNTV7@yahoo.com or send us a message on Facebook at KWN News Now, and we'll get to work alerting new customers about your product and services. Contact us today and let's get started. We're KWN TV and we're waiting to deliver your marketing message. Join us for the Radio and TV Classified, weekdays at 9 a.m., 8 Central on KWN TV.
Hi, welcome back to Sand Mountain Community Watch. I have with me here Mr. John Lyda, and he is running for school board at large.
That's right, correct.
Which means what, Mr. Lyda?
Which means you represent the entire county. We've got 4 districts for the county commission and 4 districts for the Board of Education, District 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they each have a representative on the school board, and you have a member at large, which means the superintendent not allowed to vote, and you don't have a tie because you've got 5 members.
Okay.
School boards are throughout the state mostly consist of 5 or 7 members, depending on the size of the county.
Okay. All right. Well, as my famous question is, why should I vote for you?
Okay, I've got a lot of reasons why, but I'll try to hold it, kind of summarize it a little bit. I am an incumbent, so I've served for 5 years, and I've made it a point to be visible and approachable. And I kind of spoke about this at the last political rally at Rosalie. You've got to be approachable in addition to being visible. Approachable means that you listen to people. Mm-hmm. You listen to their concerns and take their concerns. If they don't desire to do so, they should go to the principal, the supervisors, or the superintendent. But if they don't want to do that, then you have an obligation, in my opinion, to take their concerns to the superintendent and get them an answer in a timely manner. That's what I've tried to accomplish, and I think I have.
So you're kind of like a mediator between a parent and the superintendent.
All board members are trained to represent the people, to be the voice of the people, to make sure that their concerns are aired with a superintendent who is by law Title 16. He's the one that's in charge and has to be. You can't have 6 bosses or 5 bosses and him making 6. He's the CEO. As I said, by Title 16, and that's what it has to be. Board members don't have any authority as an individual whatsoever, and they have no authority except when the gavel falls during a meeting, and that is to vote up or down or question any recommendation that's made to them on the agenda. And that's another thing about a lot of people don't understand the fact that if something's not recommended by the superintendent, you can't vote on it.
Oh.
There's been court cases where boards passed board policy that wasn't recommended by the superintendent, and when they're challenged in court, they lose them every time.
Really?
Because that's part of the law. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I did not know that.
Title 16.
I was going to
which
say,
is,
explain what Title 16, because I've never heard of that till today, is what? It's
Title 16 is the Alabama State Code, as they call it. You walk into a lawyer's office and you see all these fancy
Code of
colored
Alabama.
books, all the way Code of Alabama. The Code of Alabama for education is Title 16. Now, the one that exists now pretty much covers colleges and K through 12. However, they're in the process of separating that and giving the colleges their own code or their own portion of Title 16, and will be K through 12 will be broken out by itself, as I understand.
okay.
But that's school law, Title 16.
So you actually have a governing board. I mean, basically, you have laws that you have to abide by and go
Exactly.
by as a school board member.
And that's important, I think, for school board members to know Title 16. Now, not necessarily the whole book, because it's like this thick, but you should know Title 16 as it applies to school boards and as it applies to superintendents. And the reason why you ought to know it as it applies to superintendents, it helps you to understand why he does what he does and why he has to do what he does. It's set forth, and another thing that increased the guidance to school boards was the Governance Act, which was passed in 2012, and that is mainly a summary of Title 16, but it puts it a little plainer, gives the school board the authority to sanction another member, or it gives the state board the authority to sanction school board members. It applies to the state school board as well as the city and county systems throughout the state.
Okay. So it's kind of like the Bible of the school
Well,
board.
yeah, it holds a hard line on school board members, enforcing the fact that they're not in charge. The superintendent's in charge, and he's the secretary of the school board by Title 16. Of course, his secretary actually does the note taking and recording in board meetings, but he is are the persons that actually run the school. Now, in Title 16, in 16-8-8, I believe, it states that school boards, city and county, had a responsibility of overall general supervision, which means you can't go correct a janitor, you can't go correct the English teacher. The superintendent's the only one that has the authority, and that's the way it should be, because like I said, you can't work with 6 people. You got to have one person that's in charge, and that's the superintendent. Now, you can express your constituents' concerns, and you can vote up or down in an official meeting, or you can discuss those issues that you're voting on. But outside of the board meeting, and as I described it a while ago, the gavel falls, that's the only time the school board has any authority. And no school board member has a individual authority. It's group authority. The 5 board members when they're together.
Right.
Now, I use the term MBE, management by egotistical excitement. A lot of board members get carried away and think they're in charge. They're not.
They're
The
right.
board is in charge when they meet, and during the week, the superintendent's in charge. Yeah, you have input with him and you have guidance. And in our campaigns, we have all these ideas that we're going to change this and change that, and you get on the board and you go to a few formal classes and you realize, I'm one of 5.
Right.
And I agree with that. I do. That's the way it should be.
But you can't. So you, as a school board member, could not say, "I want to make this law
Board policy.
policy." Yeah.
No, you can't. But the way that works is normally if you change the board policy and it's going to be a board action, there should be a committee appointed with it, and usually a committee of 2, and that's the last revision to our hiring and transfer policy. Mr. Gant and I served on a committee, and we came up with a recommended addition to our hiring and transfer policy. All right, if the superintendent, he or she, decides that they don't want to recommend that to the board to vote on, it don't ever happen, even though our main responsibility is to establish policy that governs our school system. But if the superintendent don't want to recommend it to you, you can't vote on it. And I understand that, and I agree with that. He's the authority. He's the one that's running the system. As a matter of fact, there's been court cases where people have challenged a board policy that was written and passed by the board without the superintendent's recommendation, and 100% of them have been thrown out because the superintendent didn't recommend it, which is stated in Title 16.
So superintendent basically has all power. He's like the Great Oz.
He is,
Yeah.
absolutely. He is, but still with that, and what you say is true. However, That's what school board members are for. Checks and
can-
balances. They can go in and they can talk to him and use their pleasing personality or whatever to change his mind or whatever, and tell him the constituents are concerned about this issue in this school or another issue in another school, or they're concerned about the fact that we don't allow transfers of students any way they want, things like
Right.
that, for
Right.
instance. Yeah,
So is that policy available?
it is. The school board policy is online. You go to Jackson County School Systems, Jackson County, Alabama School Systems, and you'll see, I think it's under parents. You click on parents and then go to school board policy, and you can go through it. It's a pretty thick document, about that thick, and a hard copy. And the part hiring of employees and transfer of employees is 6.20. That's a paragraph. But you can find anything in that board. And the board policy by law is required to comply with Title 16. If there's anything in there that conflicts with Title 16, then Title 16 is going to override what you pass as a board member.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we haven't talked a lot about you and as far as you running for the office, but because you're so knowledgeable is why I enjoy picking your brain, so to speak, because I guess being on there for
5 years.
5 years. Okay. Do you think that's a good thing that you've being an incumbent, or do you think it will help or hurt?
I think it helps if you've served. If you have served with no personal agendas, and I've talked about this before. If you're not a pocket vote or a yes vote, I didn't know what a pocket vote was till I ran. That's a yes man. The people in Jackson County don't appreciate you going in and rubber stamping everything. They expect you, if it's not right, not to be afraid to ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you don't necessarily need to do all that on a board meeting. You can do that before the board meeting with the door closed with the superintendent, talk through it. But if you can't arrive at a conclusion between board or two board members and superintendent, then you need to do it in the public and open board meeting.
Mm-hmm.
I know in some things that you handle regarding good name and character and lawsuits has to go into executive session. I know I read one time where the author of the Open Meeting Act of Alabama and the Robert's Rules of Order, the guy that wrote the Robert's Rules of Order, said he wished he had never put that executive session rule in there because it's abused so much.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, elected officials and individuals that work for the system and make over a certain amount of money are not supposed to be carried in executive session. You're supposed to talk about their performance in an open board meeting.
Oh, okay.
That's correct. Elected officials, appointed officials, and employees that make over a certain amount of money.
Oh.
It was 50,000. They're thinking about raising it to 75, and may have. I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. So
We don't make 75,000. We make $600 a month.
I know.
But it applies to us because we are elected officials.
Yeah, and you're not. I mean, it's obvious you're not doing it because you are for the money. Yeah,
Well, if you are, you made a bad investment. No. The state law sets the school board salary at $600. Boards can't change it. Thank the Lord it's that way.
Yeah.
Now, it's a public service,
Right.
and I think that's the way it should be.
Right. And you've done public service for years.
All my life, either
Yeah.
as a soldier, I've been the chairman of two boards trustee at two different schools back in the years when they had trustees. I've served in a lot of civic organizations, and that's kind of been my life, and that's what I enjoy.
What do you think your best asset is? Communication?
One word, and it's what we always ask this question. Everybody comes with a word. Well, there's no doubt about it, it's leadership.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's true for a superintendent. That's true for board members. That's if you can say, well, I'm going to treat people fairly. You sum all those things up that people say is the most important. They'll every one fall under leadership.
Right. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about it like that, but I could see that.
It's about leadership.
Yeah.
Good leaders permeate human beings.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing right and you're a leader, people that work for you and around you are eventually going to come to your way of thinking and acting and looking the whole works.
Right. Okay. Well, I hate to have to rush this up, but as some kind of law says, I can only give you so much time, and so we're about to have to wrap it up. But I want to thank you so much.
Thank you
for coming on, and I want to thank you for your service to our country.
Thank you.
To me, anybody that has done that has been a soldier like you have over the years. deserves recognition and appreciation, and we appreciate you very much.
I would like to say that goes to my bride of 50 years, too. She probably staying home with 2 teenagers when I was deploying to South America, the Mideast, was a lot tougher than me going. I promise you, she paid a price.
I can imagine. And your bride is who, Sonia?
Sonia Caperton Latta.
Yeah. Y'all been married?
Well, 50 years last August.
Okay. Well,
we got married when I believe she was 6 and I was 8.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, just keep your seat, sir. We're fixing. She was 6. I listened to that. That went right over my head. Did y'all see that? We appreciate you, Mr. Latta. Good luck to you next Tuesday during the election, and hopefully things will work out for you. And we appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to have Mr. Byron Woodfin, and I'm going to be real nosy and find out all about this book. So y'all stick around. We'll be right back.
Hey, looking for that next new-to-you vehicle? Well, Rayburn Cloud at Cloud Auto Sales has just what you're looking for, like a 2010 Chevy HHR. Great gas mileage, good tires, only $5,700. How about an 06 Nissan Quest for the family? All power, runs and drives great, real nice at $3,995. Or a 2002 Chevy Silverado Extra Cab 4-door. It has the big V8 and good tires, just $3,995. See Rayburn Cloud today at Cloud Auto Sales, Alabama Highway 71 in Higdon. 597-3273 for Cloud Auto Sales. And like us on Facebook. When you need a licensed plumber, call Stacy Ledwell and the staff at Mr. Rooter in Scottsboro. Mr. Rooter provides your home or business with advanced solutions using high-tech equipment. Our commitment to customer satisfaction shines through in our personalized service. When you schedule an appointment, our professionals will dedicate time to explain the work that has to be done. Our staff will give you upfront pricing, so you'll know exactly what's involved before any work begins. We even pump septic tanks and do new construction on houses. Fully licensed, bonded, and insured, Mr. Rooter in Scottsboro. Call Stacy Ledwell today to set up an appointment at 256-574-4710. Everyone at Guthrie's in Trenton says thank you for 5 fabulous years. It's the 5th year anniversary celebration going on right now at Guthrie's. And right now you can log on at discoverdate.com, click on the Mountain Valley Independent. You'll find a coupon that you can present for $5 off the finger or wing bucket or the 40 or 60 count finger platter. And while you're at Guthrie's, check out super lunch specials going on right now during our 5th anniversary celebration. Thank you for 5 fabulous years at Guthrie's, Highway 136 West, next to the Dollar Tree in Trenton.
This is Pastor David Smith, pastor of the New Home Baptist Church in Pisgah, Alabama. We'd like to extend a cordial invitation to worship with us this Sunday at New Home Baptist Church.
Doing your taxes yourself is just not a good idea, especially with changes in the Affordable Care Act and college tax implications. Nancy Anderton at NL Tax and Bookkeeping has been serving the tri-state area since 1978. Let NL Tax and Bookkeeping use their knowledge and expertise to get you the correct refund fast. Ask about direct deposit and fast returns. NL Tax and Bookkeeping is open 8:30 to 6 Eastern Time, Monday through Friday, and 8:30 to 2 Eastern on Saturday. 500 Alabama Highway 73, 7 miles from downtown Trenton. Call today at 657-4758 or 597-2829. Friend us on Facebook at NL Tax for the latest tax information. HVAC repair and service you can count on from S&S Service Company, a locally owned and operated business that uses high-quality materials on every job. Call on our crews for regular maintenance, minor repairs, and new installations. Spurgeon is a name that's been trusted for decades, so if you need an energy-efficient HVAC system, we've got you covered with Arco Air products. Arco Air and S&S Service Company, enduring performance. S&S is fully licensed and serves the Northeast Alabama and surrounding area. Call 256-632-2500 today for S&S Service Company for your HVAC needs. Online at snsservicecompany.com.
Join us every week for Game On with Chris Goforth on KWN-TV.
Hi, welcome back to Sand Mountain Community Watch. I have with me Mr. Byron Woodfin. Some of y'all may remember Miss Woodfin. She taught at Bryant. Well, I think it was 1,000 years ago, but we won't go that far. It's been a few years ago. She was up there, but I had never heard of this book, and Mr. Woodfin brought it. I guess, did you bring it by my office or send it by Deb? I don't know how I ended up with it, but I'm glad I did. I've not had a good chance to read all of it, but I have read parts of it and through it, and I I am super excited to get to read it. And Mr. Whitfin was just telling me that Miss Wanda Moore,
Wanda Wilson
has read it 3 times.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's got to be a good book if you read it more than once.
Well, the two common things that I hear about the book is, one, I couldn't put it down once I started reading it.
Right.
And the other is, well, I've read it 2, I've read it 3 times. I've heard that quite a bit.
Wow.
I'm real proud of that.
I bet.
This is the 19th year that it's been in publication, still sells, and I'm very proud of that because most small books like this don't last that long.
Right.
So I'm real proud of that.
So the name of the book, by the way, is Lay Down with the Dogs. It's the story of Hugh Otis Bynum and the Scottsboro First Monday bombing. Now, is Mr. Bynum the one that was arrested for?
Right.
Okay.
Right. He was charged. What happened is on Monday, December 4th, 1972, there was a car bomb exploded in the car of Lloyd Campbell. He was an attorney at that time. Later, he was a judge in Jackson County. And 2 years of investigation, 2 years later, in 1974, they arrested Hugh Otis Bynum, and he was the great-grandson of Robert Scott, who founded Scottsboro.
Okay.
And they were also, the Bynum family were the largest landowners there in Scottsboro. So he was one of the wealthiest people in Scottsboro. Very, very bizarre case. It did not kill Lloyd Campbell, blew his legs off.
So he was I always heard him as the judge in a wheelchair.
He was later appointed judge by Governor Wallace.
Oh.
One of the ironies of the story is that Lloyd was a single father, and he was very protective of his daughter, Ramona. And she was in the 2nd grade, I believe, there, and they lived right across the street from the school. And normally he was so protective of her that he would drive her that short distance. But on that particular Monday, he had overslept. He and his brothers had been to see Alabama and Auburn play, the famous Bama punt game, and where Auburn came back in the 4th quarter and beat Alabama. They had been to see that, and he had overslept on that Monday. So on that day, he walked her down to the corner, and she walked over, and then he came in, got dressed, and about 9 o'clock went in, put the keys in the ignition, and the car exploded. If he'd not overslept, she would have been in the car, and there's no question that she would have been killed.
Yeah.
It blew his legs off. He survived.
Because you actually have pictures of the car, right? This is
yeah,
actual
that's the
picture?
car. Yeah, and if you can see in the background, it's very difficult to see, but in the background you can see the school. That's how close
okay,
it is there
yeah.
in the back. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, I did not realize that. Okay. So why do you I guess that's in the book, right? You have to read it,
Well,
Cecilia.
it's very complicated. You're asking me, why did Mr. Bynum do this?
Yeah.
Well, he was a strange man, very eccentric. When he was younger, he was a roustabout. He got in a lot of trouble, got into knife fights, would gamble quite a bit, and then he got sick. He came down with scleroderma.
Okay.
And his hands began to shrivel up. Parts of his body began to harden. That's what happens when you have scleroderma. So he couldn't do all the ruffian things that he did when he was much younger. But what happened is he felt like that some people there in Jackson County had done him wrong. And during the course of the investigation, they found out that this bombing was just part of a larger conspiracy to have 4 people killed. In addition to Lloyd Campbell, he wanted Sheriff Bob Collins killed. He wanted Mayor John T. Reed killed, and he wanted the District Attorney Jay Black killed also. So he had a long hit list, and he got he got a local criminal by the name of Billy Ray McCrary. And Billy Ray McCrary acted as a middleman and got a fellow by the name of Charles Hale. And Charles Hale was actually the person that climbed up under the car and put the bomb on there.
Oh.
That night, he had also gone to Bob Collins's house. He had 2 bombs made, dynamite bombs. And he went to Bob Collins's house, and Bob Collins had a little dog that came out and scared him away. So Bob Collins was spared by this little car. And but then he was able to climb up under the car of Lloyd Campbell's and attach the bomb up under there. He was arrested and prosecuted, and they brought the Attorney General at that time, Bill Baxley, up, and he was the one who tried the case and convicted Hugh Otis, and Hugh Otis died in prison in 1980.
Oh. So they got him as well as the one that actually did the bombing?
Charles Hale was
Or turned evidence or something?
What happened in that? What broke the story open was that Charles Hale had a girlfriend by the name of Darlene Sullivan, and she and he had robbed a bank in Florida, and he had also murdered a man in Florida.
Wow.
But then he robbed a bank with her, but as they were trying to get away from this bank robbery, they ended up in a ditch, and so she was arrested, but he was able to get away. Now, later on, they captured him, and he's still in the federal prison in Atlanta for the bank robbery and the murders. And they just, in the past 2 or 3 years, took this case off of him being wanted for this case. In other words, they said they would not prosecute him because the case is so old now.
Oh.
But he was arrested separately. But when they had Darlene in jail in Florida, they went down to interview her on another case about another robbery that he was involved in Jackson County, and it was during that interview that she told them that Charles was involved in this bombing, and that is what broke the case wide open.
So the bombing happened in 1972?
Right,
And you wrote
the arrest took place, ironically, 2 years and 2 days. It was on December 6, 1974, that they arrested him, and then the trial took place in the spring of 1975.
Okay. And so when did you write the book?
I wrote the book. The book came out in 1997.
Oh, okay. So about 20 years.
Yeah, right. Next year it'll be 20 years that it's been out and
But it was
for
like
sale.
20 years after the trial too, right?
Yeah.
Close, yeah. So how do you get all this information?
Oh, it's a lot of work. It took a lot of work. I got interested in it. A lot of people ask me, they say, well, how did you come to write the book? And I was working as a reporter for the Daily Sentinel in Scottsboro.
Oh.
And we were celebrating our 100 years. It was our centennial celebration. And my assignment was to write about the top 10 stories of the past 100 years there in Jackson County. And, of course, the Scottsboro Boys was one of them. And then the tornadoes of 1936 was another one. And this case I wrote about, and that's how I got interested in it. And then I went to see Lloyd Campbell, Judge Campbell, and asked him about my writing the book, and he said he didn't have any problems. Now, he'd been approached by several people about movies and books, and he had always turned them down. But I had covered cases in his courtroom as a reporter, and he really thought well of my reporting, and so he agreed to it. And I knew that if he didn't agree to it, none of the other main people involved, Bill Baxley or any of the other folks, the detectives and that, would not cooperate with me just out of respect for this man who lost his legs, in this terrible explosion.
Okay.
So when he gave me his blessings, then I went to see Bill Baxley and interviewed and all the detectives that were involved on the state level and all the local. There was the two main detectives was a man by the name of John East from Phoenix City, Alabama, that had come up. He worked for the state attorney general's office, and George Tubbs, who was a detective in Jackson County Sheriff's Department. And those were the two main people who actually put everything together for the arrest.
Okay. We're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more about this book. I love this. So I'm already just can't wait to find out. Anyway, y'all come back. We'll be right back. Oh, goody.
The Tax Clinic is now open in a new location as part of the Boss Business Center, 29490 Alabama Highway 71, right across from the ball fields at North Sand Mountain School. With over 40 years of experience, the Tax Clinic provides year-round tax and payroll services. The Tax Clinic urges you to start gathering documents so we can help you file your 2015 tax returns. The Tax Clinic, now part of the Boss Business Center, located at 29490 Alabama Highway 71. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, Saturday 10 to 2. 256-597-3829 for the Tax Clinic, taking care of whatever ails you in the tax world. Get big savings now with Tennessee Valley Net. Tennessee Valley Net's digital television, telephone service, and high-speed internet is now available in many areas of Dade County and expanding to other areas like Edgewood, Piney, Lake Hills, Sligo, and New Salem. Digital television packages are available, including over 200 channels. High-speed internet services with 30 meg upload and download available now from TVN. Residential and commercial packages are available. Call now to see if TVN is available in your neck of the woods. 706-657-4367 or visit tvn.net. Morningstar Dry Cleaners, your local dry cleaners, located at 57 Crabtree Street, right behind Dora Crisp Realty in Trenton. Morningstar Dry Cleaners offers a drop-off location for after hours and pickup service for businesses. We wash, dry, fold, iron, press, dry clean, and yes, we do alterations too. Now under new ownership, Morningstar Dry Cleaners. Open until 6 p.m. Monday through Friday for your convenience. Call them today, 657-3685. Morningstar Dry Cleaners on Crabtree Street, right behind Dora Crisp Realty in Trenton. When you or a loved one is facing a life-limiting illness, hospice care may be the answer. At Tapestry Hospice, the patient is the focus of our care. We're here to serve you and facilitate your wishes. Tapestry caregivers are concerned with managing your pain, keeping you in touch with your physician, and helping you make plans for the future. Hospice is life-affirming, and Tapestry Hospice can help you deal with all aspects of life, mind, body, and soul. Call Tapestry Hospice for more information. 706-383-8812. That's 706-383-8812. Tapestry Hospice. Redefining hope.
Hey, Bart, Aunt Bee don't get around as good as she used to, and she's in need of a lift chair. Why, Andy, you gotta nip it in the bud. Comfort Gallery has catnapper lift chairs in stock with free delivery and setup. Catnapper reclining sofas in leather, designer fabrics, and even camouflage. Catnapper rocker recliners starting at $269. Hey, Andy, I just been over to Comfort Gallery. They also have England sofas by Lazy Boy. Queen-size pillow top mattress sets now $299. King-size sets just $399. Is that a fact? Surprise, surprise, surprise! They now have free 1-year layaway and 6 months same as cash. And listen up, Andy. For the credit challenge, they now offer no credit check payment plans. Located in Kimball, Tennessee in the Old Hills building. That's Comfort Gallery Mattress and Furniture, open 7 days a week. Y'all go by there and see Gary.
Comfort Gallery, 780 Main Street in Kimball. Free delivery and setup, 90 days same as cash, and easy payment plans. Open Monday through Friday 9 to 6, Saturday 9 to 5, and Sunday 1 to 5. Telephone 423-837-3000.
Thank you for joining us, America. Joseph is in Florence, Alabama. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show, Joseph. Thanks for joining us, America. Samantha's with us in Seattle. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show, Samantha. Angie's with us in Baltimore. Hi, Angie. How are you? Thanks for joining us, America. We're glad you're here. Allie is with us in Austin, Texas. Hey, Allie, how are you?
The radio home of the Dave Ramsey Show. Weekday afternoons at 1 o'clock Eastern on 1420 AM and 106.1 FM KWN.
Hi, welcome back to Sand Mountain Community Watch. Mike was like, "Are you ready?" And I'm like, "No, I'm trying to read." But anyway, I cannot wait to start reading this because it tells all about, and it's got pictures as well of there's Mr. Campbell, and then there's Sheriff Bob Collins. I remember him, Sheriff Collins.
Right.
It's also got pictures of Mr. Bynum and his attorneys and Detective Tubbs. Now, are any of these people still living, Money, Marvin?
I don't know. I know that one of the prosecutors that worked with Bill Baxley, a man by the name of Don Valeska, I know that he's still living because he still works with the Attorney General's office and still prosecutes cases. I saw that he was in Huntsville not too very long ago prosecuting the case over there.
Oh, okay. So, is this the only book you've ever wrote?
Yeah.
Is it going to be the only book you write?
I'm afraid so, yeah. These types of book here, it cost me a lot of money, a lot of time. I spent a lot of time on the road, and it took me all together from the time that I began working on it and doing the interviews to the time that it came out into the stores was 7 years.
Wow.
And so that's a pretty long time
to invest.
Yeah, about 3 years of that trying to please the University of Alabama because they're the ones that published the book.
Okay. How do you get in with them to get a book published?
Well, I have to give credit to my wonderful wife because as I had started to write it, I had 2 or 3 chapters of it written. I had the research done and had started to write it. She got in touch with them, and they then called me back, and I got in touch with the director of the University of Alabama, a man by the name of Dr. Malcolm McDonald, and he was very excited about it. And so it was real odd. I was writing chapters and sending them down, and he was reading the chapters as I was writing them.
Okay.
And then he'd come back and he'd tell me, he said, "I can't wait till you write, get me 2 or 3 more chapters in that." So that's how it all came about.
I think you should write. Well, I don't want anything bad to happen to anybody, but
No,
you should
I
write.
tell you, the one book that I regret not being able to write. I actually started the research was the tornadoes of 1936, and a lot of people don't realize how bad that was. It was one of the worst natural disasters. In one day in Alabama, over 300 people, 68 of them in Jackson County.
Oh, really?
One tornado, yeah. Tornado came through Jackson County, and like I said, 68 people. But then down in South Alabama on that same day, 2 tornadoes went completely across the state, about a mile, maybe 5 miles apart, Tuscaloosa and all that. And like I said, killed over 300 people in Alabama. And that was the book that I was regret that I was never able to finish. I started researching it and then just could not get enough funds and everything together to finish it.
So have you thought about doing it now?
Oh, no. I've climbed the mountain and I don't want to do it again. No,
Well, but I don't want to. This is so interesting to me. And now, where can people get this book if somebody?
Okay, the simplest way is for folks who can get to Scottsboro at the Heritage Center in Scottsboro. They sell them. Or you can go online and order them directly from the University of Alabama Press.
Okay.
Or you can have any bookstore can order them for you. Now, you can get a short synopsis and read what the critics have to say on it on Amazon.com.
Okay.
But the books they sell are autographed books, and they're real expensive.
Oh, Okay. Autographed by you, I assume. Or Elvis, or well, I just think this is awesome, and I can't wait to start reading it. And it happened. The bombing was on a first Monday, right?
Right. They planned it that way because they thought that people would think that the folks who were against First Monday, there was a lot of opposition from business owners in Scottsboro who didn't want First Monday on the square because it bothered their business. And every now and then, they'd get all upset and let's get it off the square. And they timed the bombing to make so that they would think that the businessmen had done this. It was a bizarre thing, the whole thinking behind it.
Yeah.
Even after Hugh Otis was a suspect, and he knew he was a suspect, he was still trying. In fact, the night that they arrested him, he rode around with an undercover agent who was posing as a hitman, and that's really where they got the final nail in the coffin to make the arrest, is that he was talking about having Bob Collins killed.
Wow. And what's so weird to me, what's strange about that, or not that, but how today, we hear about all these, and I'd use this term loosely, crazy people that do all these crazy things, and we think, oh, this is just something new. Well, it's not new. People were doing these kind of things.
Well, this is just a bizarre. There's not another story like it.
Yeah.
And what makes this also unusual for a book about the South is so many books in the South, written about the South at that time, were about racial things. And this was white on white crime.
Mm-hmm.
This was not, black on white or white on black or anything like that. This was a white man who wanted white men killed.
Yeah,
see.
it was just a book about evil.
Right,
actually.
and change.
Yeah.
Hugh Otis didn't want change. And, things were changing in the town that he felt like his family owned, and that's why he wanted the mayor killed. That's why he wanted Sheriff Collins killed and Jay Black. So, he was obsessed with having these people killed.
Now, I noticed there's a picture in here of of the house.
Right.
Is that still standing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Is somebody living in it now?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's been redone?
When they searched it, one of the strange things is in one closet, to show you how obsessed this man was, in one closet they opened it up, and inside that closet they estimated maybe 1,000 of the little paper rolls that go in toilet paper, the little paper cardboard thing. There was like 1,000 of them in this closet. He had never thrown them away. Slept on a mattress just on the floor, had the same kind of khaki pants and shirts, wore the same thing every day.
Oh, wow.
Pretty strange.
Yeah.
Pretty strange.
Yeah. Well, I want to touch just real quickly on this. This is an article that came out in the Daily Sentinel, and it's actually Mr. Woodfin here, and it says busy in retirement. So you do wood carvings as well.
Right.
I want you to come back with them one day when we have more time to talk about that. What got you into that, the wood carving?
Well, I've always been interested in that going back many, many years. And I finally, when I was retired, where I had the time and that I could spend to really learn how to do it, then I took that up.
Mm-hmm. Do you do mostly faces?
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That is so neat. Well, I sure appreciate you coming on, Mr. Woodfin. And like I said, I definitely am going to purchase this book from you today, and I can't wait to start reading it. And what was it you said that Billy McCrary turned state's evidence,
right? And
so he said whoever gets to the table first.
Oh, when they got him in Montgomery, and he wanted to make a deal, he told them, well, the first to the table gets the sugar. And so he cut a deal with them to act as a witness and to set up Hugh Otis with the hitman.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. Y'all be sure, like he said, you can get it from the University of Alabama Press. Go to the Heritage Center there at Scottsboro. If I can, if he's got any at home, I'll have them there at the tax clinic for sale too. If anybody, just get with me if you want to know how to get one, and we'll get you in touch with them one way or the other. It's going to be an interesting read. I can't wait to read all the details. I love mysteries anyway, and this is going to be good.
Well, it's compared to a John Grisham mystery.
Yeah.
When you read the critics on Amazon, one of them said it's just like reading a John Grisham novel.
Wow, that's an honor.
Oh, yeah.
That's an honor. Well, congratulations, Mr. Woodfin. We appreciate it. And we're going to have to wrap it up. Y'all tune in next week. I won't be here, but somebody will. So y'all be sure and tune in next week, and don't forget to go vote. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching Live and Local KWN TV.